Hi Pisces, welcome to your September 2019 Astrology 33 reading. Thank you to those who have liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And just to let you guys know, I actually won't be offering personal readings for a while. I might pick them back up around the time when I post the October videos. If that's the case, I'll definitely let you guys know when I post them. And then as far as the love readings, those will probably be out closer to Labor Day weekend. So just wanted to give you a heads up on all that. With that out of the way, we have a Celtic cross spread in front of us. You guys got a whole lot of major arcana cards, which was pretty rare. And then we also have a couple oracle cards to look at and a mudra card. So let's get right into it. In the main situation position, we have the sun. So this is actually a card that sometimes is associated with Leo, just because Leo is ruled by the sun, but it doesn't necessarily have to point to that. Technically, their card is the Strength card. This can just represent how you're feeling right now, revitalized, reborn in some kind of way. Maybe feeling a bit playful, just in a good mood overall, maybe receiving some kind of public recognition as well. If we think about the sun and that fifth house energy, and you do have the North Node moving through your fifth house as well. So, maybe you guys have just been getting some recognition for some work you've done lately, or just people are noticing you more in general lately. That could be what's at play. And maybe it's because you're in that light and playful energy, maybe that's attracting more people into your circle. In the challenger obstacle position, we have the Fool card. So to add this as a challenge, this could just be saying that if you're not in that energy right now, maybe if you've been feeling a bit down in some way, shape, or form, maybe it's saying that the challenge is for you to take some kind of leap of faith, do something a bit daring, spur of the moment, just something out there to help you reset in some way, shape, or form. But overall, seeing this come across, it could even be that you've already done that. And maybe that's what has you in that energy now. Maybe things were stuck and stagnant for you guys for a while, and maybe you made some kind of a big move out of nowhere. It might have surprised some people, but then it actually ended up freeing up that blocked energy for you guys, and now you're just feeling a lot more vibrant. In the foundation position, we have the High Priestess. So this is actually a card that I see as a Pisces card, along with the Hangman. But overall, to me, this is just saying that, you're feeling very intuitive, you're very in control of your emotions. It always, like I say, it always looks like she has her foot on the moon. So to me, that represents you're well aware of your emotions, they're out there on display, but at the same time, you have a firm grasp on them, you're not letting them, run the show, basically, for lack of a better way of saying it. And, there's going to be a lot of energy going on for you guys. You will have a full moon in your sign around the middle of September, so maybe that's even what it's pointing to as well, because there's going to be a lot of stuff going on during the time of that full moon. There's a lot of things moving through Virgo throughout. Basically, I'm recording this on the 20th of September, and those Virgo placements are going to start kicking up now. They're going to move pretty much through most of September, and especially with that full moon energy, there's going to be a lot of play with that, and then Jupiter, so maybe that's really what's going to help you really be tapped into your intuition this month. And again, just feeling more like yourselves. Like I said, if maybe you were feeling a bit down and out for whatever reason recently, it looks like things are shifting for you guys in a positive way this month. In the past position, we have the Justice card. So this is a major arcana card for Libra. So some of you could have been dealing with a Libra in the past, but this could also just represent that there was some kind of karmic justice paid out. And maybe even just legal system stuff as well, especially since for you guys, Libra is 8th house, so that could deal with others' resources, so this could have been around some kind of inheritance, maybe some money that was owed to you that maybe you had to go to the court system to get it, and maybe you actually did get that now, or will soon, since we see the Judgment card in the present position. But yeah, that could be the way it's playing out. Like I said, especially though, considering that, this is a card of Libra. Yes, you could have certainly been dealing with a Libra, or this could just be centered around 8th house stuff. So maybe this even represents you might have had some kind of karmic blockage that finally in the past that karma was cleared out, and now that's why you're in a much better headspace now. In the present position, we have the Judgment card. So this could definitely represent something coming back around that maybe you didn't necessarily think had a chance of coming back around. And maybe that's with that sun energy in the Fool, right? Maybe that's, you taking a risk to start something back up with someone from your past, right? Maybe you just decided, you know what, rather than just waiting around and wondering what if, maybe you're actually making some kind of a move toward them. If this is related to a court thing, like I said in the past, most likely I would say that that court ruling might work out in the favor of females. So let's say if this were a divorce thing, for example, or maybe around child custody, most likely it did favor the female, or will favor the female if the judgment hasn't come out just yet. But that's just how it could play out for some of you. And for others of you, it might be that, the female energy is called out to bring something back from the dead, quote unquote, right? Because the horns pointed toward them. So that's just how I see that energy. This is a bit of a Scorpio energy as well. And so for you guys, Scorpio is your 9th house. So maybe you're actually seeing things from a different perspective now. And maybe that's actually what's helping you move forward. So maybe there is something from the past. And maybe it might have been something that you perceived as a loss, but maybe now you're actually starting to see it from a different perspective and realize it was for the best. And maybe that's why you're in that sun energy and the Fool energy, finally letting that go and putting it behind you. In the near future position, we have the Lovers. So this is actually the major arcana card for Gemini. So some of you can be dealing with a Gemini. That's one way it could be playing out. But this is also for you guys, Gemini is your 4th house as well. So some of you actually might be moving. And maybe in the process of doing so, if we tie it all together, maybe, you move to a different area and maybe you actually end up finding a new love connection in the process. And maybe that's what the Sun and the Fool is about, right? Maybe you took some kind of a big risk and decided to move somewhere to a new area. And then maybe that actually clears up, like I said, these blockages that you might have been feeling, and it shifts the energy, maybe puts a good relationship into your environment. This can just be around communication as well, since it is Gemini energy. So maybe a lot of you are talking about love. You have a new moon basically coming up right at the end of August. That'll be in your 7th house. So that could bring a new relationship into your life as well. So there's plenty of ways that this could play out. Trying to see if there's anything else that comes to mind with this, but I think that's about it. And, with this being Gemini energy as well, maybe with Uranus, which is in your 3rd house of Taurus, maybe it going retrograde actually settles things for you a bit too, if there was some confusion in that area. All right, in the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Page of Cups. So this is another indicator that makes me think that if there was some kind of a love offer made, it's most likely, or will most likely, be coming from you, just because this is an energy of making an offer. And I mean, we even see the fish in the cup there, which could definitely point to your zodiac symbol. So this could just represent you finally making an offer to someone, maybe putting yourself out there with the Fool energy, like we said. And maybe it's not the most, maybe it's a bit of a playful offer, let's put it that way. You might not come at someone with something real serious or even a long term necessarily. It could just be more of a playful offer to someone. Hey, you want to go out and, I don't know, for some drinks or something simple, but that could be a way it's playing out. And it could just show that even with that Fool energy, and maybe that's why it is in the obstacle position, it does show that maybe you're not, fully sure of yourself, but you're still going to make the offer anyway. Because with the Page energies, I always say they're that 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of energy. So it's like maybe you're a little bit shy about making the offer, but something just gives you, just lights a fire under you this month to actually go forward and do it. In the position of the environment, we have the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. So this represents another person. So, well, first we see Taurus energy here, and then also Gemini. So you could definitely be dealing with a Gemini or Taurus. And then obviously they could have placements in both signs. But if this is someone you present the offer to, this could just be saying that they're really trapped in their head right now, and maybe, maybe they have other things on their mind. For example, maybe they're more focused on finances. So if you do make that offer to them, you might not hear anything back right away. Could just be that they're thinking it over, and maybe even for some of them, they might have just gotten out of something pretty long term as well that ended up being disappointing for them. So they could just be in a bit more of a stuck energy than you are. And then this could just represent the environment in general, where you're like very much in a get up and go type energy and vibe, and maybe the people around you might feel a bit more stagnant. So, it could just be saying that there's a bit of a mismatch in the energies in that way. Doesn't necessarily have to be anything bad. And maybe for a smaller portion of you, since this does represent your third house, the Taurus energy, and this represents your fourth house, can just be regarding family as well, maybe communication with your family. Maybe, you're feeling a little bit hesitant about reaching out to them. For example, if you did move away, like maybe you moved out from home, for example, maybe you lived in the same area with your family, and now you made this big move, and maybe they're kind of disappointed that you went out and ventured out on your own, right? With that could be what that page energy is about as well, just being out on your own for the first time. And maybe it was a bit contentious, and maybe you guys are trying to repair that relationship with them. In the position of the hopes or fears, we have the World. So this could actually be even another indicator that some of you might be making a big move, or possibly even overseas, let's say. But I would say more than anything, some of you might be saying that you're hoping that this is it now, that you're hoping that, okay, whatever situations I went through in the past, I have a clean slate now, and now, I learned my lessons, and now this is just how things are going to be going forward. So that feeling of optimism, hoping that, you have learned lessons and there's not more to come, basically, and now this is just going to be the path that you're on. Because, like I said, I feel like you're in a bit of a playful reborn energy between the Sun, the Fool, the Page of Cups. Even if we want to look at that Page of Cups as being reborn in a way where you're like, okay, now I'm going to get back up to that Knight level, right, which is your technical court card. So it's like you're getting that forward movement that maybe you didn't have for a while. And this could just be saying that you're hoping that all of the tough times that you had in the past are going to stay in the past, basically. I also view this as a Saturn card, and Saturn will be moving direct in Capricorn this month around the 15th of September. And that's actually your house of friendships too. So maybe this is around friendships, and maybe those friendships now you're hoping that they're going to actually be repaired. In the outcome position, we have the Ace of Cups. Now, to me, what this can really be saying is, let's say this is the same energy with that love offer, right? Like you made an offer, or even it could just be an olive branch as well to friends. Like I said, maybe, I don't know, maybe something you did rub them the wrong way. Maybe you're just so caught up in your own world. Maybe, there was some issue there, but, whoever this is in the environment position, if they're feeling stuck in their own heads with this in the outcome position, I do have a feeling that this is saying you will hear back from them, and this could just be saying that they do reciprocate the energy that you gave to them, but it just might take them a while. Because to me, these energies are very similar, the ace and the page. But like I always say with the aces, with the cloud there, it looks like that hand coming out of the cloud. I view that as much more of something in the idea stage, whereas here, there's actual tangible action being taken on it. So that's why I say if we look at these two together, this would represent, if you do make that offer, especially with the energy of the person and the environment seeming to be a bit stagnant, like they just have other things on their mind, This could just be saying that, all right, as the month progresses, maybe you hear back from them that yes, they actually are interested in this connection as well. And at the bottom of the deck too, we also have the Wheel of Fortune. So this could definitely represent some positive shifts for you. And actually, with that said, Jupiter is moving direct in Sagittarius again. Just a little over a week ago, I'm recording this on the 20th of August. So this could even just be pointing out the fact that, maybe this is all related to career. Maybe you're getting some kind of big career growth, and maybe even that's what led to the move. Maybe you got some really amazing job offer, right, that you couldn't pass up. You're like, oh, this is what I've been looking for all along. And maybe you made that move, and maybe with the High Priestess and the Foundation, this could just be saying that you were keeping it under wraps. Like maybe you knew that the offer was there, and maybe you thought about it, didn't really discuss it with anyone. You were keeping it all to yourself. You decided to make that leap of faith to take the job, right, wherever it may have been. And now, because you didn't really tell anyone about it and you just kind of made the move, that could have been you having to do a little bit of damage control. So, like I said, maybe people in your environment felt a little bit burnt by that. Like, why didn't you tell us? So now you're just moving that over with them. And like I said, if that's the case, by the end of the month, it looks like things should pan out fairly well for you in that regard, too. So, all right. Moving on to your oracle cards. The first one we have is Thinker. There is the artwork for it, and the number is 44. So let's see what that has to say. Okay, it says strategy, being analytical and logical. The oracle's message: the ability to reason and strategize is the focus now. Take things at face value and follow the logical path. Your calculations will prove to be correct, for in this moment there is no deeper meaning than what is obvious. Things are exactly as they seem. You have all the information you need. Keep it simple, and you will win the game of life you're playing right now. So, keep it simple, and you will win the game of life. Just made me think of, like I was saying, the sun energy, feeling like reconnected, feeling youthful, energetic, the Fool being that same energy. But that's interesting there, though, too, as far as saying take the logical path. So I guess that would say it also mentioned that everything you need to see is out in the open, and maybe that's what the sun is about too. So if there is some kind of a big decision that you need to make, it looks like it's saying that all the information you have to make is there, but still try to apply some logic to the situation as well. All right, the relationship message says love is not logical, but when you choose a partner, it is good to have things in common other than desire. This is a time to weigh the pros and cons of your partnership. If there is enough common ground, go for it. If not, there are other fish in the sea. Don't force it to work. And should others tell you who they are, take them at their word. Now is not the time to indulge in a fantasy. No matter what, in this case, the facts are the facts. So that's interesting too, as far as what it was saying, and then it also made me think of the other fish in the sea, right? That made me think of obviously the Page of Cups with the fish in the cup there. So this could just even represent you just starting over in your love lives as well. Maybe, like I said, for some of you, if this was some kind of a divorce, maybe you're free and clear of the divorce, and now that gives you the opportunity to just go out and pursue new connections. All right, the prosperity message says calculated action is called for now. It's important to sit down and plan a strategy. Focus on the steps you're going to take to claim your prosperous life. Lists are your friend right now, so get out your journal. Write down what you're going to do today to signal to the universe that you're serious about attracting abundance. Your plans and strategies will yield wonderful results. Remember, your most effective strategic partner is spirit. You will win this game, and your triumph will be for the highest good of all. So that was interesting too, because what stuck out to me as I was reading that was write down what you're going to do today to signal to the universe that you're serious about attracting abundance. Maybe that's what that High Priestess energy is about too, almost like taking notes of what you do want and really partnering up with spirit, like it said there, right? That could be what the high priestess energy is about, and then these things actually start to manifest for you. So that'd be pretty cool. All right. And then next thing we have is from the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. You guys got Turkey Spirit. It says, give with gratitude and grace. There's the artwork, and the number is 61. So we'll take a look at that next. It says, Turkey Spirit's message for you is that you always have the potential for manifesting a rich reality. For the turkey represents generosity and a celebration of abundance through giving to others. Give freely without expectation, and you shall receive, for the manifestation of abundance is happening right now. Align with it by sharing your good fortune with others, whether you give money, loving guidance, the gift of listening, or kindness in any form. Immerse yourself in the flow of generous abundance, being a channel for Turkey Spirit and the desire of Spirit to see all beings experience the blessing of plenty. Give with gratitude and grace, from a wellspring of love and compassion, knowing that Spirit will respond by giving you all you need in this moment and all moments to come. So that's an interesting message there too. And maybe this is just saying that, for example, if you are in this really abundant energy right now, right, and things are going really well for you, maybe that's saying if there is someone in your environment that maybe isn't going through as good of a time, right, with that Eight of Swords and that Seven of Pentacles, maybe it's saying, then maybe you could give to them. Maybe that's what it's saying with the Judgment energy, right, that it's up to you. Maybe it's someone, like I said, in your past that is going through a bit of a tough time, and maybe you guys had a falling out, but you do want to reconnect with them in some way, so maybe actually reach out and get things back on course. And then it looks like it's saying that through the process of doing that, maybe that's what the Ace of Cups is saying here, that more will come your way. Your cup will be refilled, basically. So maybe that's what the point of that message was there. And lastly, we'll get to your mudra card. So you guys got the Vyana mudra this month. There's the actual mudra itself. Keyword for it is expansion. And let's turn the card over so you guys can see what it has to say, in case you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read it. But as far as the benefits, it says regulates blood pressure, purifies the blood, decreases restlessness and insomnia, reduces redness and burning of the eyes. So kind of a random one, but if that does sound like something some of you guys could use some help with, could definitely look into this a bit more. I'll put the name in the description as well if you wanted to look into that. We'll wrap up there, guys, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.